Hey guys, I know it's been a while, but I'm gonna keep this brief, as brief as I can. And yeah, welcome back to my channel. So I basically thought I'll put this video together because essentially I'm in the transitioning phase of my life right now. I'm actually trying to relocate myself. I have lived in different countries before. I was living in Los Angeles for 2 years. I lived in Ghana for like a year. Currently, I'm in the UK. So I feel like I wanted to just share what my experiences were really and see if it could help somebody else who's thinking of relocating or making a big move, outside the country, because it can be overwhelming. And the first time I lived essentially like by myself away from family and friends was when I was living in LA, and I was like 20 something, I can't remember, like early 20s. So for me it was like the biggest move around that time, and I did it because I was studying, doing a master's out there for the year, and then I started working out there for the year in film and media production. So that's kind of like the beginning, the real beginning of my journey as a director and as a filmmaker, because before I made that move, yeah, I had, I dabbled in film and doing, putting things together, but I hadn't really done like a proper short film. I'd just been acting. So that was kind of like me tapping in as a director who actually has built a portfolio of stuff whilst I was there. Whereas before then I had like maybe like one, two things as a director under my name before I moved out there. So yeah, anyways, everyone's gonna have their own reason for moving as well. Regardless of what it is, these are like the top 5 tips I would say before you make a big move like that and relocate. I think the first thing before I get into the top 5 tips is the motivation for your move is so important. Like, why is it that you feel like you need to relocate, and why is it that you want to be in that particular country? Now, some people might come out and be like, I just wanted to change, so I just chose a country and then bam. And, that's cool because I'm impulsive too, but also know what the environment's about before you kind of like, jump into it. Like, do a bit of background research. Is it something that, has benefits for you in the future? Is it because, tax is better over there? People talk about the lifestyle. Maybe you're somebody that likes the summer or the sun. Like, think about the country or city that you want to move to based on what the trajectory looks like for you. I don't know what people's careers are. I don't know what people's family lives are, friends, but just think about those things like before you make like a huge move. Like, what is the main reason, and what are going to be like, the benefits of me making this move? Is it a strategic positioning? Is it just a lifestyle change? Is it just in order to tap into my creative side, and you feel like this is going to allow you to be in that environment, rather than whichever environment you're in? So yeah, key before I like get into the top 5 tips that I have is, what is your motivation for your move? And is this going to benefit you, not just now, but maybe in future? If it's the case, if you just want to move for a couple of months, that's cool. But if it's like, you know what, I see myself being here for like a year or so, like look at what that place has to offer. Look at who's in government. Nowadays, it's something to look at, right? I'm not saying base your whole decision on politics, but I'm just saying like look at things that will have an effect on how you can live your lifestyle, do you know what I'm saying? And what you can do when you're there. And like, you don't want to go somewhere and you now feel too restricted, or you feel like, you just made the wrong move, right? So that would be my beginning tea. Secondly, so I just keep, yeah. Anyways, secondly, I would say that if it is something related to like, strategic positioning for a career, or maybe just kind of like wanting to change up your lifestyle and stuff, what do you enjoy doing? What are the things you enjoy doing? And look at what that place has to offer for you, whether it's like the activities that it has there, whether it's like a beach city, beach town, because you could be in a country and like on one side of the country that is like beachy and whatever, and the other side is like foresty and greenery. Like, so in one country, it could be a case of I actually want to like explore this side more and I'm interested in living on that side. So that's a whole different, research that you're going to need to do to say, what's the north side like? What's it have to offer? Like, is there a lot of job opportunities or career opportunities on that side? Am I going to be able to make money? Like, you just got to think about these things, right? So once you've had that, thought process going, etc., right? First step I would say is scope out that environment. So if you decide to say, hey, I want to move to I'm just going to use somewhere I've moved to because it's easier. Hey, I'm going to move to Ghana, and I'm wondering what city do I move to. You read up about Accra, which is one city in Ghana, and then Kumasi, which is another, right? And you're like, which one should I move to, right? Doing your research in terms of the area, the region, the city, the location, that will allow you to know where you're going to end up, right? It's going to be like, okay, in Accra, it's very city-like. In Kumasi, it's not as much of a city vibe. There's less people, less population. So you then can make a decision over what city suits you. And then on top of that, like maybe a particular region in the city where you would want to, think about living. But I would say explore the whole city. So if you decide that you want to go to Los Angeles, explore all of the LA little counties. You know what I'm saying? Like go to Long Beach, go to Santa Monica, go downtown, like explore all of those places, because then it'll give you a better idea of where do I see myself actually like moving to, is in like living, having a house there, versus like essentially just the city in itself, because the cities could be really big and just very vast. So make sure you actually have opportunities to say, okay, let me go and check out West Hollywood. Oh, there's an event going on here. Cool, bam, go to that event. Like, see what the vibe is. What is the crowd like? Do you know what I mean? Because you tend to get certain types of crowds and people that live in certain places. And everyone can travel anywhere they want to. But just in terms of like the people that are going to be out every night in that area and the people you bump into, there's going to be some kind of pattern, right? And that's just like kind of like any city you live in. So I would say definitely have a look into just the region and the place and like the areas. This for me. Second tip I would say is make friends with the people that live in those cities. Okay, so if you don't have any friends that live in maybe the place you want to move to or travel to, find friends. Like internet is a big thing nowadays. Obviously be safe, but like, hit people up on Instagram that maybe are in your field of work and say, hey, I'm looking to move to this city, this is what I do, would you have any tips, advice, just so you can kind of talk to people and establish like who your tribe would be and like kind of where that would fit, or where you would like fit into that, if that makes sense. So I would say definitely talk to people, hit people up on Instagram, talk to friends of friends, maybe aunties, uncles, etc. You might have people that you don't know directly, but you have a friend of a friend of a friend. It doesn't matter. Like, as long as there's some kind of a link to the city you want to go to or be in, and there's people that can actually give you their first-hand knowledge, just do it. And it doesn't mean that you need to take everything everyone's saying, like, to the T. It just means that you now have a variety of different opinions, different people, different places that they're suggesting, and they're giving you more insight into the city, being people that have lived there for however many years, right? And of course, if you think about it, not everyone's going to have great things to say when they've lived in a country or a city for so long, because we're just human. We find things to complain about and things that are like, we don't like. But just take everything with a pinch of salt and listen to like just how people have overall found their experience, and like, and then do your own exploring as well. So like you can meet your own friends, you can go out and stuff like that solo, go for a drink in a bar, chit chat with a bartender, take an Uber, chit chat with the Uber. And then you just get a variety of different insights into just kind of, the area, the places that you might want to go to or hang out and stuff. So yeah, that's also some important information. But if you don't know anyone there, you have to make some friends. Like, you just have to just talk to people, right? Be bold, right? Just ask questions like, hey, so I don't really know this area. People are more than happy to talk a lot of the times, and just give information when you just approach it in the right way. Because yeah, people are low-key all narcissists. They love to talk about themselves, and I'm joking, but yeah. So I would say tip number 3. So after you've scoped out the environment beforehand, spoken to the people, local people in the areas, restaurants, etc., and you've also found, the specific area you want to live in, I would say travel to it a few times if possible. So like, if it's somewhere that's not too far from you where you can just make that trip easily, just do it. Like, organize a weekend, or a week with friends, family. Like maybe you have a holiday coming up or a birthday or an occasion. Just find a reason to go to that place and take people with you, right? As well, if you can. Obviously you're going to be solo, but it will be nice to experience the place with the people that you also love and care about as well, because they might have their also opinions on things. And also when you're with people you already know, it just makes you feel more comfortable, right? So you just kind of feel like, okay, cool, like this is a cool place. I went on a trip there, it was with a few family, few friends, we had a good time. You know what I'm saying? It kind of pushes you to be more active in finding things to do as well, because of you guys are all collectively there together. But aside from that, I would just say, sorry, I am looking at my notes. I'm not going to act like because I had to just write it down. But aside from that, I would say like go there a few times if possible, do your research, check out, videos on stuff like, I would say like blogs and stuff like that. But nowadays it's like TikTok and, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, check out the little TikTok videos of people that like, I traveled to this place. But also bear in mind that some people that doing those videos, they're just traveling there for like holidays and stuff. So it might be more so it's good for like recommendations for restaurants and cool places to go to, in which case you go to those cool places, you go to those restaurants, and you can, again, gives you another chance to scope out the different areas and activities and what there is, and just have more of an understanding of the place that you want to move to. And then, guys, just trying to remember, the last point is just move. Just do the move. Like, don't overthink it. Like, not everyone's going to get a chance to go there a few times before. Not everyone's going to get a chance to scope it out with friends or family. Not everyone's going to get a chance to even like go there one time. Someone might just really, really feel strongly that they just want to move and just do it, and they don't want to have to go through a back and forth process. And honestly, like when I moved to LA, I had been there before, the year before. So I did an internship there for about 3 months during the time I was studying. And so it was like in the summertime. So I did an internship there for 3 months. That was the first time I'd been there, and I was there for 3 months. And I really enjoyed myself. Like, I made friends with the interns. We obviously went out to places. Because America is America, you had to be a certain age to like, drink and stuff. And I can't remember. I think I went there when I was like 19. So, or 19 turning 20, but I wasn't 21. So I couldn't, go to certain places. But it was enough for me, even with the fact that I couldn't go to every, place because of the age restriction. Like clubs, whatever. I don't really care about clubs anymore, but you know what I'm saying, clubs, bars, certain places, right? It was enough for me to realize I really like being here. Like, I like the vibe of it. And obviously I didn't have like my friends and my family around, so it just forced me to have to explore by myself. Especially because I was cool with the interns, but they weren't like my buddies. So I met people as I just went around. So like, I remember on the way to my internship one day, there was this guy that it looked like his car was like either broken down or he was helping someone fix their car. And I asked him for directions, and literally we're still friends to this day. So it's crazy, like, and he's like just one of the coolest, like funniest people that I know. He's a character. He's funny. But like, if I didn't stop to just ask him, it wouldn't have led into like a friendship. And I've known him, I've known him probably for like 8 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, longer than that, like 10 years. So I think it's just funny how that happens. And honestly, I kind of knew where I was going already. So it was one of those things where I was like, I just double check, and it just made me start a conversation with somebody, right? So sometimes you just have to do that, right? Just do it. You might be like, oh, I already know this, or I already but just be like, just use something to start a conversation. If you're anything like me, I really don't like talking to people. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't like starting conversations and stuff, and feeling like, you know, hey, so how was this and how was that? And like, it's like I can't force a conversation. I'm very much like, if we have something to talk about, we have something to talk about. If we don't, I'm not someone who's gonna force it. I don't care to sit and just be silent. Like, I don't find it awkward, but people do. So they start talking, and you have conversations. So I'm not the greatest conversation starter, but if you talk to me, everything's just gonna flow. I'm gonna be talking, we're gonna be chit-chatting, it'll be fine. You won't even know. But what people notice that know me, I'm not gonna go up to someone and just start a conversation, right? So it did take me out of my comfort zone, because a lot of the time I would have to talk to people to ask them XYZ, and that made me be more kind of like active to talk to people that I wouldn't usually just go up and talk to. So it is important. Also, I think it's part of growth as well, especially if you're like young, or you've just kind of finished school and you want to travel for a little bit. You might not want to like move and live there, but you want to travel there for a couple months. That's still an experience, right? And that still requires you to have, again, come out of your comfort zone a little bit, be a bit impulsive, spontaneous, bold, confident, and I think that will help you even build up your confidence. I think nowadays also people are more aware of, like, the world's a little bit getting a bit cuckoo and stuff. So you just have to be wary of people who you're talking to, what I'm saying, conversations you're having. And what I would say is always be in places which are visible to others. So especially if you're just meeting someone for the first time, or you're chit-chatting, don't be in a situation where you're closed off from people and you're by yourself with this person, especially if like it's a new person that you've just met, right? Just make sure you're always in like a visible, scene. Make sure if you start these conversations, go out during the day. Yeah, I was gonna say you still have to be careful, but go out during the day where, there's a lot of people, busy places and stuff like that. Don't corner yourself off with somebody you don't really know, but just be open to just being friendly. And I would say, depending on where you do want to move to, you do have to do that kind of like check as well, because LA was a lot of interesting people, should I say. Depending on where you're living in LA, you just come across interesting people everywhere. But yeah, so I would definitely, like, in terms of safety, in terms of like, especially just being able to feel safe, be visible. That's what I would say. The most important thing, be visible. Always let somebody know where you are. If you have a group or a chat or whatever, just have someone that knows where your location is. So like, you can share your locations with people. Just make sure that's on. Do you know what I mean? And then like, if people are connected to you, they can see without having to ask you, they can literally see where you are, the location. So if anything, someone has that. So just that's just a note on safety and stuff. Just be vigilant and also and all of that. And yeah, I don't actually have any. I'm looking at this paper and I'm like, there's nothing on there left. And then yeah, so I think every place is gonna have its own set of things that comes with it as well. So when I was living in Ghana, that was during COVID year, and that was also interesting because obviously it was COVID. So like the lockdown happened for a couple of weeks, and then obviously they were like, we can be free because the economy could not sustain itself on people inside the house. There's a lot of laborers and a lot of people that have to be outside selling stuff for things to run, or involved in active things, right? So things that involve people having to be on the ground. So the remote thing was just, it's not going to work like the way it works in the UK, for example. In Ghana, that's just not their economy. It's different. But during that period of time, I was able to kind of like explore the area that I was in. And then also I was able to kind of like travel to different places where it wasn't as busy at first. And just kind of like take in the scenery. And obviously I've been to Ghana so many times before, so it's not like a new place, but where I was staying was a new place. It was a new area. So again, like, that's something that I had to kind of pay attention to. Like, yes, I've been here many, many times, and I've always stayed in, East Legon or Chado or Osu, but now I'm staying somewhere completely different for the first time, and I'm locked down here for like, a couple of weeks. So I had to, also be like, Stephanie, relax. You still don't know this area as well. So take it in and just be vigilant. And you know what I'm saying? Just still make sure you are aware of your environment and who's around, and like that all goes the same. Because yes, I've been to Ghana many, many times. I'm from Ghana. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that was a completely new area for me, and it was outside the areas that I was used to. So yeah. And obviously, especially being someone who's like, when you go to a country and people know you are either not from there or you haven't grown up there, like, people kind of pick up on, things. They can pick up on just stuff you're wearing. They can pick up on anything. But long story short, some people will see that you're not from there, and some people might start conversations with you and just, have a little chit chat that way. But yeah, I would just say in everything, just make sure that, you stay aware of where you are, who you're speaking with, and like, just make sure that at the end of the day, you don't have to give everyone all the information about you. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you first meet them, like, you don't have to give them all the information. They don't need to know you're by yourself or whatever. They don't need to know all that. So just be careful or be mindful about information you share with people. Because not everyone needs to know all your business. You can just be like, yeah, I'm just, checking out the scene. Yeah, staying here for a little bit and traveling, whatever. Like, you don't have to let everyone know all your details. But if it feels like a, cool situation and you vibe with that person and it's like you've met them again, then cool. But just be mindful, Anyways, aside from that, because now I sound like I've been like auntie or something, like, oh, just be careful. Like, I don't even know where that's all coming from. But I just think it's it's just good stuff to know, right? It's just good things to know. Anyways, aside from all of that, I am relocating again. So that's why I thought, let me just do this video. And where I'm relocating to, I've literally been there 3 times this year. And I've been in different parts of that place as well. I've connected with people that I know that live out there, slash made new friends with people. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm also a member of I'm a member of like a members club, and in that members club you're able to essentially like go to different places in different cities and stuff. So that also gives me access to the industry that I'm part of, and then as well as being able to just talk to people part of that. And it's kind of like a safer space in that way, because you know that everyone's part of this membership, right? And you still can't trust people like that, but you know what I'm saying? It just makes you feel a bit more like at ease when you talk and you socialize with people that are a part of the same kind of like group. So I think even things like that, like, you might, be somebody that loves to do yoga or someone that loves to do like football. Find those hobbies, those groups of people, find those events and activities that you can do and you can go to regularly. And then that's how you start also meeting people. Like, you might have a gym class. It might be like a cycling gym class, and you're there every week and you're like, oh, hey, I've seen you every week. And you have those conversations. So I think that's also an important part of being able to just get to know people in the area that you want to be in, and just kind of make organic friendships without feeling like, you have to go out and to the bar and drink and all the time to meet people. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm done talking now because it's 24 minutes and that's enough. What I'm going to do is this t-shirt. I keep going like this because I wanted to talk about it. Food for Billionaires, guys. So this is not my brand. I'm gonna make you see this a bit better. It's not my brand, but I love this brand. It's my bestie's brand, and honestly, I love this t-shirt and I love what it stands for, because for me, I'm just a big advocate of, you know, what you eat, what you know, mentally, just how, what you feed your brain, what you feed your spirit, all of that stuff and above being important to how, to your output, right? So you feed your body, your mind, your spirit the right things, and you get the right output, right? You attract what you are, etc. So I'm a big, I can't even speak properly anymore. I'm a big advocate, right? And so if you guys want to cop a t-shirt, let me know. Right now, it's kind of like limited numbers. It hasn't gone like global just yet, but honestly, yeah. And there's hoodie versions as well, t-shirts, crop jumpers. But let me know if you have an interest. And then once things are like fully underway, then I can kind of drop you the link as to where to get one from. So yeah. Anyways, it was nice chatting with you guys. It's been a while. It's been a minute. Let me know if you want me to do any more videos on anything else. I'm probably going to be dropping videos more so about like just, I don't know yet. But we'll see, right? This is the first one of, yeah. All right, guys. Ciao.